Following the blockbuster success of the How to Tie a Double Knot instructional video, and then Andrea's follow-up request for the How to Use TweetDeck video, Shimon Lerner asked us to teach you how to throw a curveball. In order to do that, first we have to teach you how to throw a fastball and an off-speed pitch. Here's a baseball. You have the seams. The way you hold the ball relative to the seams controls what sort of pitch you're throwing. This is a two-seam fastball. You'll notice that the way I throw this ball, two seams will rotate one over the other to go towards the batter as I come over the top. A four-seam fastball is when I hold the ball this way. And what happens with a four-seam fastball is that 1, 2, 3, and the fourth seam in the back rotate over each other, and that's why it's called a four-seam fastball. Now, when you want to throw an off-speed pitch, you're going to do the exact same thing with your arm, but you're going to grip the ball slightly differently. For a two-seam off-speed pitch, I'm going to hold the ball exactly like I would hold for a two-seam fastball, only my middle two fingers are going to be over the top seams where my front two fingers would normally hold it. My index finger is down on the side, as is my pinky, and the friction with pinky and index finger are actually what slows down the ball. So my arm is going to come across the middle with the exact same speed and motion as my fastball, but the friction created by these two fingers are going to slow the ball down by 5 to 10 miles per hour while the batter thinks the same speed pitch is coming. If I'm doing the same with a four-seam off-speed pitch, I just turn the ball the way I would hold a four-seamer, and I have my pinky and my index finger holding up the ball. What's unique about this is the two-seamer and the four-seamer, the difference is the amount of rotation that it has and how far it'll sink in the zone. You probably often hear about a fastball having movement. That means that it doesn't just go on a straight line, because any major leaguer can hit a 95-mile-an-hour fastball going on a straight line, but then in addition it's moving down in the zone. That motion down in the zone is actually caused by the rotation of the seams, and the four-seam fastball is going to move further down in the zone than the two-seam fastball because it has more rotation with the seams. Now that we've learned how the seams affect a pitch, let's look at the curveball itself. You hold a curveball quite similarly to the opposite of a two-seam fastball. This is over the seams for a two-seam fastball. If we turn the ball around and move our fingers to the seams, that's how you're going to hold the curveball. Now what's important with the curveball is that you're actually going to curve your wrist. What that allows you to do is create motion over the top for a sinking curveball, or across the outside for a lateral curveball. And what's going to happen is you're going to really violently create torque in your wrist. That's the reason why they tell you not to teach a curveball to a 12 to 14-year-old, because the amount of stress it puts on an underdeveloped elbow and shoulder is what actually creates the injuries to the rotator cuff. So you're going to hold the curveball, bend your wrist, and for a sinking curveball, you're going to come over the top. For a rotating curveball that's going to move laterally, you're going to come around the side. And that is how you throw a curveball.